Okay, this is lab 11. We did lab 12 last week, so we're going back to do lab 11. Okay. Now in theory, I'm going to explain this to you. Okay. All right. It says answer the question in the quiz. Answer the questions in the quiz section. Yet currently there's no quiz section. They will appear soon. Okay. Now speaking of that, I've been working on this for about a week, on and off, not non-stop, but I still haven't broken them all. There's still an issue with the program. I was actually on the phone with them today. So I had to call them because it's doing some weird stuff. It turns out I had an issue with a conflicting with a port that was being used by the Apple Bonjour service and mobile device service. It doesn't need that port for anything. It doesn't connect outbound with it or anything. But if it finds something listing on that port, it won't work. So if you get some weird error about can't connect to the supervisor service, just go in and turn off your Bonjour service. Just stop it. Well, but if you have iTunes installed, you have it. So just go in, go to your Bonjour service, hit stop, and then it should connect. Okay? I stress should. That's what. It was funny. I called the guy, and he's like, "Oh, I know exactly what your problem is. You're running FTK 5.1.6." I'm like, "No. Yes, you are. Trust me, dude, I'm running FTK 1. He's like, oh. So they've never seen this problem before, and I don't know why the hell it's doing it all of a sudden. But what happens, I was running it all this morning. Then I rebooted, then it wouldn't run anymore. So if you have an issue, can't connect to supervisor, and you have Java installed, which the program will do it automatically for you, it could be that. Just go stop your Bonjour service, and it did connect. Okay? So that was one of the big. I don't know why it's doing it. It doesn't need it. I mean, we're not allowing it to connect to the licensing server. All I can think is PRTK also has a distributed version called DNA for distributed network attack. It's the same program. But what you can do is you could run the supervisor and the worker service. So you could have 10 machines doing the job for you. So I'm wondering if it's just checking to see if there's any workers out there, and if the port's in use, it kind of dies. Okay. So, and we also have another issue with this project. We're moving, as some of you already know. I mentioned a minute ago. But you need the licensing server to run this program. And guess what happens when we move vSphere?
No license service.
No licensing server. So, what I am going to do for you guys is I am going to give you 2 weeks to do this project. Because I'm expecting vSphere to be very intermittent Thursday and Friday of this week. The plan is to move it at 2 o'clock on Thursday. But the moment they enable the connection over there, it disables the connection here. Then what we have to do is pack it all up, take all the servers out, move it over there, reassemble it all. So the odds are it's going to be down pretty much all of Thursday, and I mean, probably Friday as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you 2 weeks. But don't wait until the day before it's due. Because like I said, I've been, some of these passwords, I don't know. I am cracking a Word document password right now. The first dictionary is 335 words. It's breaking it at 64 words per second. 335,000, and you're doing 64 per second is a very long time. I don't know why it's taking so long. It's never taken this long before. Maybe it'll work better on y'all's machines. I don't know. But that's only the first dictionary. There's like 8. One of them's got 1.5 million. So, again, I don't know why it's taking so long. But that specific word I started about noon today, and it's not done. So, and I know which dictionary it's in. And I'm going right for it. But I will find out why it's taking longer. But so I'm going to explain how it works. I'm going to show it to you. And the ones that are already broken quite easily, I'm going to let you start working on those. Then once I get the other ones up, I'll give them to you. Make sense? Okay. I'll show you more about that. Okay. So do it yourself. Basically, scenario is someone's got a flash drive with a bunch of password protected files. This happens in real life. Our physical plant over here had a spreadsheet with password protected. They needed access to it, so they sent it to me. Password was car. I mean, they're in charge of the cars. I said, what's in the spreadsheet? all the car data. Well, the password was car. So, I mean, I don't even think they tried it. But point is, this does happen in real life. People forget passwords all the time. Different this year. See, in the last years, I really just took Word documents, Office documents. But now I'm trying to do a zip, a 7-zip, a OneNote file, a Word, Excel, PowerPoint, a PDF, a bunch of different types of documents. So I'll give you a more idea of how the different ones work. Okay? But we'll look to that. Okay, there are a bunch of different languages inside of PRTK. I will show you those. And I will show you how to set up the profiles for them. Okay? It says use the images. Oh, and you also need a wordless export. Does everybody still have access to their Lab 2 image? You should. If not, just download it up at D2L again. Open it inside of FTK. And under Tools, there's an option for Wordless Export. Remember how I talked about FTK, how it actually indexes the entire case when it brings it in? Well, it makes it index. Export it. Then what it did is every single word it found on that file is exported to a text file. And you end up with this huge text file. And that's actually a very good place to start breaking passwords. You think about it. My personal computer probably has my password saved somewhere. And if it was, this would solve the problem. But one of the passwords is in that file. Okay? You'll need PRTK and FTK. Here's what it says the file is to be decrypted should be. Now, it should be is in italics. In other words, it might change slightly. I've gotten 5 of them already done. I think it's 1, 2, 5, 6, 7. So 3 is not done, 4 is not done, and 8 I'm having a really bizarre problem. So, but I will give you those files once we get them. It says, now, do not use key space. I'm going to show you where that is, but don't use it. Okay? It says don't use it. It's not always the same. They actually put a deal in here from the manual. It says the key space attack is used on applications that use 32-bit encryption or less because of the relatively small number of keys. Okay, what a key space attack does, it doesn't care what the password is. It just tries every combination to open it, and then it'll let you open it and get the results and get into the file. But it's not going to give you the password. Okay. So if you use the key space attack and it gets you into the file, you still don't know what the password is. You need to know what the password is. So don't use key space. Okay? And the key is not normally the same as the password. Okay, that's right out of the manual. I put a comma. Okay. The decryption attack, it says decrypts the password that locks the file. Doesn't work on all of them. I don't think it actually works on any of the ones you're doing. But when you do some of these, you might see these words as well. I included a few of them in here. Okay, dictionary is the one we're going to do mainly. Now, when we get into there's a bunch of different rules. These rules right here should break all the passwords. Should. Again, I put that in italics. Because at the moment they haven't broken them all. But the 5 that are up there, these rules did break them. And again, I will show you where the rules are. It's not a problem. If you want to run it from home, get it off the software needed folder or download it off Access Data. Enter the key just like you did in FTK and in NK, same port. Not a problem there. I will update this to include the quiz questions when I put them up there. What it's going to ask for is, for file 1, what was the password and which language or dictionary did you use? That's all you're going to provide. Make sense? Easy enough? I just didn't put it up there because I want to break them all first. I want to make sure they all work. Okay? So far, the ones I have up there do work. Okay. And let me go into D2L here real quick. Okay. Actually, let me install PRTK real quick. I put PRTK, it's not installed. When you go to install it, if you download the ISO file, 7-zip will open the ISO file for you. Then if you go into the PRTK, then you can either run the 64-bit or 32-bit edition. 64 is normally faster. I'm currently running the 32-bit in my office, so that could be why it's slower. But I've tried every version, and I said the issue turned out it was the darn supervisor server, so I probably need to put the 64-bit back on. But to install it, you just obviously click the install. I'm going to pause the recording until the install is done. All right, so we are done installing. In theory, I can click finish, and it will run. Okay, now here's where mine hung up. Connecting, see how it got past it, which is a good sign. I was stuck there for hours and hours. All right, so let's talk about how this program works, okay? First thing we're going to do is look at the dictionary utilities. You need to do a little bit of work in here. Under dictionary utilities, it's Java based, so give it a minute, okay? Inside here, you can browse dictionaries, okay? So you can go in here and you can actually look and see which dictionaries are in here. Okay, so these dictionaries all have DE in them. So what language are they? German, okay. These all have EN. What language are they?
English.
Okay, how about FR?
French.
ES?
Spanish.
Spanish. JA? Japanese. RU? Russian. SK? Slavic.
Slavic.
Yes. Hence, I mentioned that earlier. I don't know if you got that, but okay. So yes, you need that language. Okay. But you can look at these. Say I went in here to Common English. I could do View Entries and see the Common English words. Okay. There's quite a few, as you can tell. Okay. And you'll notice here you can see how many they are. Obviously, some have more than others. Okay. So this is just a place to view them. Okay. Now, I want to show you real quick how to, actually I'm going to close that out just for a second. Do I have FTK installed in here, don't I?
I think so.
I just saw it on the menu there. Okay. Oh, by the way, if you do not have if the licensing server is not working, PRTK will come up in demo mode. It'll only do zip files. So if I was you, I would hold off on that file. Do the other ones while the licensing server is working. Once it stops working, then work on the zip file. You know what I mean? Then you can work on it again. Okay. All right, so I'm going to bring up FTK here real quick. Now, one of the files requires a word list. Okay. Now, I'm going to start a new case. This is really pretty simple. I'm going to call my case number 1. It's awesome. All right. Next, next, next. Now, all we want this for is to get a word list. We're not doing no data carving. We're not doing anything. So to make this thing quicker, I'm going to turn all this junk off. Okay? I'm going to go in here, and I'm going to turn all the hashing off. Turn off entry. But I do want the text indexing. That's the one thing I do want. I'm going to turn off all the rest of this. And say next, next, next. Now I'm going to add some evidence. Now, it's an image of a drive. Now, you guys had an image of lab. There it is, lab 2. Perfect. We'll use that one. There's the fault. This is last year, so that way you guys aren't getting hints here. So I'm just going to bring in last year's image, and I'm just going to select the time zone again. It doesn't really matter because all we want to do is get the index out of it. I'm going to say next and finish. It should go very quickly, and it should be almost done, and it's done. So really, we're not doing anything to it. We're just bringing it in. It's a very small flash drive. Then under Tools, Export Word List, I'm going to export this thing to my desktop. I'm just going to call it wordless.txt. Okay, easy enough? Done. That's all you need the tool for. Okay, now, on my desktop, I should now have a text file called wordless.txt. And there it is. This is every file, or every word, or combination of letters that was on that file. Okay, kind of cool. There's some long ones. When this is the coding. See, that one's on there. So, what this did was it took that image off that flash drive, and every piece of text it found, it dumped it into a list, is what it did. So, very handy. So, if your, say this was an image of your hard drive, and your password was stored anywhere, the odds are it's in this file. So it's a great place to start. What I did is I went through this file, not this one, I went through this year's. I picked out one word from it, and that was the password I used. So as long as you use the word list correctly, you should have the password. Easy enough to do. Okay? Now I'm going to show you how to use it. Okay? So far so good, everybody with me? Pretty simple so far. So we need to create a dictionary now based on that word list. Under tools, there's only 2 sections you're going to mess with in here, and dictionary is one of them. Under dictionary tools, okay, I can actually right here, standard dictionary generator. See this? I'm going to generate a dictionary. I'm going to browse to my desktop, and I'm going to find that word list. Now, there's settings, like I can say, which language is it? I can do all kinds. I can restrict the length. I can do all kinds of stuff to it. But I'm just going to say generate. And it's processing it, and it's done. Now, if I go back over here to Dictionary Browser, I should see a new entry somewhere called word list. There it is. I don't remember what the difference is in the C and the U. One's a code page, one's Unicode, I think. I'm not 100% positive. But when you actually use them in the roles area, you won't see that. It'll all be the same. But, so if I'm going to look at this word list now and do view entries, it should be just like we saw it in the other area. All this did was it took that text file, brought it into PRTK, and made it a PRTK dictionary. Is all it did. Easy enough. Okay. Other things you're not going to be required to use this semester is this that closes. Yeah, don't you just love some of this stuff? Come on. And now you know I've worked on this for a week and had a call in today. Shit. Now, version 7.5.0 is on their website under older versions. Same issue. So I don't know what the hell's going on with it. And I can't get this damn thing to quit. Why ain't that just freaking fabulous? Alright, let's go into Task Manager somewhere over here. Let's do this. Task Manager. Go away, dictionary.
It's unkillable.
Okay, there it is. It's gone. Okay. So it hangs sometimes, obviously. So I'm going to go back in there now. Some other things you can do in here. You could generate, let's do a biographical dictionary. Say you were doing some research on Ken Dewey. I could go in here and say, okay, I'm going to add Ken. I'm going to add Dewey. And then I'm going to get down here and say, okay, the state. He lived in Oklahoma. Where else did I live? Anybody?
Choctaw.
That's a city.
Connecticut. Oh, I thought you were.
Yeah. Yeah. But I can put all kinds of information about Ken Dewey in here. Okay. And then I can generate a dictionary. I'm going to call this Ken Dewey. So you see, I really didn't put much in there. I just put what? My name, and that's about it. Now I'm going to go back and view this Ken Dewey dictionary. Obviously, it's pretty awesome. It's right there at the top.
So awesome.
Seriously? Are you freaking... Oh, there it is. It's down here. It's down here. I saw it. There it is. Okay. How many entries are in this dictionary?
499.
Then I just put in Ken and Dewey, and I put in 4 words. So let's look at what it did. It actually took those words and kind of mangled them for me. It, Ken dash Ken dash underscore Ken K, and for 460 of them. So you can see how this dictionary is going to get quite large at one point or another.
That would have been good in a previous.
No, that would have been terrible. Okay, but you could see how we could generate dictionaries. I'm not requiring you to do that this time. But that would be kind of like, say you were stalking someone on Facebook. Everything you read on Facebook, you could dump in there, would generate this huge. Because the odds are, think of what are you reading about on Facebook? Everything about their family, everything about where they lived, where they went, their pets, and everything else. Favorite color in the cars, and that's all their passwords. So you're good. Okay. Passphrase, same kind of thing. You can put a bunch of different words or phrases, and it generates a dictionary based on that. Permutation, same kind of thing, and you can put in phrases, or just the standard one, which we did already. So a couple different things you can do. But the bottom option, we're not going to make you do this either, but remember how in John the Ripper, once you broke a password, it remembered it in that pop file? That's a golden dictionary. In other words, if you ever had that same hash again, it was like, I don't have to break it, I already know the answer. That's what this does. But what's cool about this is you can merge them. Say we're a police department here at Rose State College, and maybe there was another police department at OKCCC. We could actually merge our golden dictionaries together, and then I would know everything that they broke, and they would know everything that I broke. So it'd be pretty handy. You could actually get someone's, maybe they have a child pornography dictionary of known passwords that are used in child pornography. They could send it to you. Then you automatically broke those, so they'll be breaking instantly. So kind of nice feature. I'm not going to make you do it, but
it's cool.
You see how it could be used. Okay. All right. So let's get out of dictionary browser. We're done browsing dictionaries. Okay. Now, under Edit, there's something called Profiles and Rules. You can do it all through Profiles, by the way. We're going to go into Profiles. Now, in here, we can look at a few of them. What were some of the languages we saw on the other screen? German. Okay. I'm going to create a new profile called German. Okay. Now, you'll notice it defaults to English, and it already has all this English stuff selected over there. See it? I can actually uncheck English and select German, and now it actually has all the German stuff selected. So now I have a profile that's going to be breaking German words. Now, if I knew for a fact it was in the first one, I could literally go in here and delete the other three. But since we're not sure, I'm going to leave them all selected. So you can very easily select different languages: Spanish, Slavic, Russian, Japanese. Every language you need is in here. Okay, I didn't come up with you got to create some, Klingon or something like that. So you're okay. I know. But we'll say German. Now, the big money maker of this program is on the right-hand side, the rules area. Okay. This is set to break any password in 7 days. Well, we actually had a PDF file that I think we were trying to break at the beginning of the semester. What did we run it for? About a month, Cameron? I let it run forever. It never broke it. The reason is, you can see it starts off with one-digit search. So it's going to try the number 1. Didn't work. Number 2. Didn't work. Keep going. Then it's going to go to the one-letter language specific. Then it's going to go to the 2-digit, and so on and so forth. You see the rules on the right. That's what we're talking about. But they get pretty complex. And, lowercase words for selected dictionary, they get very detailed. Some of them will literally take billions of combinations. Okay? So 3-word concatenation with spaces, or 4-word, just all kinds of bizarre stuff. And I think, they don't tell you how many it does in this area, but if you were to run all these, it would take forever. I told you exactly which ones to do. So what I recommend you do is go in here and say select none. Then I told you to go down and do 2-17 dictionary primary search, which, what do you think that means?
Just search dictionary.
No, that's what you would think. It does somewhat, sometimes, but I actually called them a couple of years ago because I had a dictionary with a known word in it, and I had the password, and it wouldn't break. Just using that one rule. They said, yeah, it is a dictionary search, but it does do some modifications of the words based on Unicoding. So sometimes it might look like one thing, but it's really something else. So it might work, might not. Okay? 2-18, dictionary reverse. Maybe the word's backwards. I did not do that on purpose, but again, these definitions of the dictionary is kind of not complete. If you go through their manual, they do tell you what they do, but sometimes they do more stuff. Okay. Now 219, believe it or not, that one has actually helped quite a bit. I don't know why, but this one is dictionary with 2 characters, uppercase, search, blah blah, blah blah blah, search. Okay. So now the other one, which is handy, is down here. Is 3-10. Uses entries as is from selected dictionary. What's it sound like to you?
Try it as it is.
So that should work as well. So, with these 4 dictionaries, everyone I've given you so far will break. 100%. Okay? But again, I've only given you, 5 of them? There's supposed to be 3 more, which I haven't got to work yet. I'm trying to figure out why. Now, what you can actually move this one. I could say, you know, put this one up here. I can keep going with it. You know, I could put it wherever I want. You know, I could have it up above, or I can, you know. So you can move them around if you like. Okay, it's not an issue.
What would be the purpose of moving around?
Well, okay, what if I wanted to do the as-is search first?
Okay, so
Because it's a start at the top. It's going to do all the 2-17, then the 2-18, then the 2-19. I mean, you could go in here and actually make a profile that just does only 217 or 3-10. But yeah, you can move around. It's in order because some of these might have, you know, thousands or even millions of words in them. So it could take a while. Okay, so you could very easily move them around. So we gave it a name. We picked a language. Now over here, you don't have to stick with what it gave you. For instance, I could go in here and say, you know what? I want to do General AR. What's that, Arkansas? I doubt they have their own language. Well, they might. But, so you could select multiple options. The character groups, you really shouldn't have to mess with that on this. But if you knew specifically the password was in lowercase, you could turn the rest of the stuff off and possibly speed it up. Okay? Is everybody okay on how to make this profile? So I'm just going to say okay to that. Now I'm going to actually look. We made that one by clicking on new. Now I'm going to click on English, so I'm going to do edit. Look at what this English one does. It does all this stuff. Okay, so you can see that, oh, it doesn't do all of it. It does all the advanced and basic, at least. But that's still quite a bit, okay? And it tells you exactly how it does it, blah, 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 so on and so forth. So I want to show you now how to actually break something, okay? We're done with this. We need a file. Aha! Got a file. You'll never guess what the password is. All right, I'm going to take this and dump it in here. Okay, I'm just going to drop it right in there. You can go file, add, or click the plus if you want, or you can just drag it. Okay, it all works the same. First thing it does, it comes up and says, okay, what do you want to do? This is very critical because you'll notice it defaults to English. If you don't change it, guess what it's going to do?
Keep on using the same?
Let's keep doing English, but what's up a German one? Now, the thing you need to gamble on here, so if I have 8 different words, and by the way, I'm not using the dictionary more than once, but should you take the first file 1 and try all the languages?
No.
You could, and figure out which one it is, but you know.
It might take 3 years.
It might. Okay. So, I'm doing this file. Now, if you bring this in and that files area is blank, I don't know why, I had the problem today as well. Because I would drop the file in there, and then files are blank. It's like, what the hell? So, again, there's something wrong with the program. I don't know what's going on with it. Okay. So you can right here select which. I could select German. I could even create a different one right at this point if I wanted to. Okay. So I'm just going to leave it on English for the moment. I'm going to say next. Here's the stuff you need to mess with. Remember I said that whole key space thing? We definitely want to do a dictionary attack. It says performs a dictionary attack on the password used to encrypt a document. Okay, we don't want key space. Uncheck key space. Uncheck key space. Uncheck key space.
Uncheck every instance of key space.
Right. Because if you don't, it'll actually put them up there and run through those as well. So it literally could take 10 times the amount of time. You know in that rules area where I showed you the big old list of rules? There's always somebody in the class who leaves them all selected like I did on this one. They're like, man, this thing's been running forever. Well, you don't need that. Okay. So I'm going to say finish. Just so you can see what happens. And you get this cute little graphic here. Now, as soon as it comes up, I'm going to click on it real quick because it should break it pretty quickly, but I want you to see something. Creating it. Okay, it comes up, and under rules, please show it to me, please. Okay, good. There it is. If you look up here, you will see the different rules and how many tries there are. These are the number of tries. So to do a dictionary primary search preceded by whatever the heck that is, it's 13 trillion tries. And if I go over to passwords per second, this is breaking it at... Crap, it's already done. Damn it. But if it wasn't done, it would tell you how fast it's going. Okay? But this being the word cat was quite simple. You can actually see, if I look at this file, it actually got all the way down. This one's actually breaking pretty quick. It got all the way down to this one. 5 Malkov characters with a threshold of one whatever the hell. I don't even know what it's saying. 5 Malkov characters with a threshold of 1 primary search. They wouldn't even have a clue what that means. But that was cat. Okay? So that's the one that broke it. But you can see how this could take a while. I'm hoping mine's just having an issue and is very slow, because this one seemed to go pretty darn quick right here. So maybe yours will be quick as well. Now, when it's done, now actually let me bring this up again. If I go in here. All right, you can see I was using English at the time. In the past, I would have you tell me which rules broke it, but I don't require that anymore. All I want to know is basically what was the password and which dictionary or language, in other words, English. You don't need to go in and tell me it was in the general English. Just tell me it was English or French or Spanish or wordless. Just whatever it was. Don't worry about going in there and telling me much more about it. You can even see the hash of the password up here. All right, and so it's pretty simple, and you can see some of that information, actually all of it on the right. Now, you can add more than one at a time. Yes?
Okay, so even though you did the advanced search ones, you just use those 4 that you...
Right, if you use the 4, you'll be fine. I knew this would be quick because it was a very short password. But come on, there's only 3 letters. I mean, it can't be that much. The problem is, you know, if you... Let's see what it is. I think the reason mine's being slow is I'm using Office 2013 documents. And I think because weird thing, I would dump a regular document in mine, it would disappear. I put it in, it would go away. And I even called them like, we don't know why. I'm like, it's your program. I literally drag and drop, like went and select the profile, click next, finish, and it disappears. And I did the same with an RAR file, I did the same with the SAM file, and they don't know why it's happening, is why those aren't still done. But 2013 seems to be working better, but that could be why. Maybe it's a slower encryption algorithm. Because I will tell you that 2013 is actually encrypted with AES, where 2007 and 2000 and beyond was not. So it could be that. But I'm only giving you one word. Actually, some of them. Which ones did I say I already gave you? Let's look here real quick. Let me go into D2L real quick. I gave you 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, didn't I? 5, 6, 7? Okay. Actually, it'll be in here in a second. Alright, let's go into this class. And under content. Okay. Yeah, 1, 2, 5, 6, 7 are already up there. I zipped them up. That's not the zip file you need to break. Unzip that and it's got what's inside of it. So 1, 2, 5, 6, 7 are done. So what was 1, 2, 5, 6, 7? Okay, don't say, oh, sorry. Yeah, 1 so 1 and 2 are done. Yeah, 5. So obviously it wasn't the word 2013 that was slow. The 7 zip is killing me. So maybe it's the 4 that's slow. Yeah, 4 I'm still working on. So PDF and zip work fine. Excel, PowerPoint, and OneNote work fine. So I think it was the word that's killing me. I don't know. It's only like this long of a password. I don't know. But I'm still working on number 8. But I'll update it and email you all when I get the rest of them in there. I just don't want to give you something that's not going to work. And if I can't get it to work, there's no reason I should have you go screw it. Aren't you glad I'm at least trying it? So, yeah. But the ones I gave you do work so far. And if I don't get the other ones that work, that's all you need to mess with. So, all right.
Don't go ahead and submit the quiz until...
I didn't put the quiz up there yet. Ha! So you can't do it.
Play it safe.
I'm not going to put the quiz
So
up until I get them
you
over.
don't get the others or something?
What?
Are we hoping you don't get the others?
Okay. Again, I'm giving you 2 weeks for this. in case you joined us late like Marlene, again, I'm giving you 2 weeks because we are moving vSphere on Thursday, and it might be down for a day or 2. Now you can work on the zip file, but like I said, that one broke easily. So if it's down, now, if Friday comes around, Saturday, and it's still down, email me or Cameron or Roy, because we might think it's working, it might not be for you. I don't, because we're moving into a new building, they're having to reroute the fiber, so I don't know how that's going to go. All right, is everybody okay with that? So I'm giving you 2 weeks. It doesn't mean wait till it's due. I mean, you could probably take all the words, make a profile for each one, or make one profile with all the languages, and just dump all the words in there and say, go on all of them, and it might just get all of them in a week. I don't know. It might. It's a game. Something you could try that. I mean, but again, I spent a month working on one PDF file, and it never broke it. So, but I have a feeling that was some crazy long password, or it actually could have been made with a different program.
Could have been your computer.
No. Actually could have. Mine's doing some really weird, bizarre stuff in there lately. So. Alright, so everybody okay and kind of how this works? It's really pretty simple. Nothing difficult. You got to mess with the dictionary to create the word list. And then you have to go in and edit your profiles. You can go in and edit your rules themselves, just under edit rules. Okay? You can create a new rule. I'm not going to require you to do this, but you can really do some bizarre stuff in here. I said, okay, I want a character, and then I want to do some other junk with it, and I want to have some word. Let's see, there's a way to make this do more stuff. It's been so long since I played with this. There's a way to add more to this. Come on. Maybe I need a group in there. Get character out. Go away. Oh, forget it. We're not going to mess with that. Okay? We're not, but you can go in and edit the rules. I don't know. This is the new edition. They kind of screwed it up a little bit. But, all right.
Does it save your results anywhere?
Oh, yes, it does. It shows the password right there. It's cat. Yeah, that's a good question. It does show the results right there. It says cat, even gives you the hex value, and it also shows you right down here. Now, another thing you could do, remember how I said key space just breaks it, but it doesn't always give you the password? What you could actually do is if it did a key space attack, you could actually come here and say decrypt. And what it would do was it would actually save the document without the password. You don't know what the password was if it was a key space, but at least you can get into the document. Because in the real world, do you really care what the password is?
Really?
No, you just want the document. So if you do a key space and it breaks it, you could just do decrypt, and it would actually decrypt it. You don't care what the password was at that point. But for this project, it's easier for me to just ask you guys what the password is.
So the first word was in each document.
Yeah, but a lot of these documents, I randomly pick crappy documents. And then I came up with the question, okay, if I did that, then what if you don't have 7zip? Or you don't have the PDF reader? Or you don't have OneNote? Or you don't have the ability to read a SAM file? Or I said, I could just see all the problems. So this way, giving you a password is easier. Good question. Or any other questions about how this works or what you need to do?
Do we need to make the dictionary file from the drive image, or should we just use the ones already in there?
Okay, you need to make a dictionary from the word list you export.
Okay.
Remember, go into FTK, bring in your lab 2 image. Remember, I unselected everything but the indexing. Export word list, then make the dictionary out of that. Yes.
So we're going to have 7 preset dictionaries and one.
One word list, yes.
So how do we know what the 7 preset ones are? Will it tell us, or?
Sure, they're in there. Just pick them.
You won't tell us.
But I did tell you this. Remember, I did say they are listed right up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's only 8 there. So there's 2 I'm not using. Really? That's all? Okay. Yeah, there's 2 I'm not using. No, there's more than 2.
9.
Yeah, there's 3 I'm not using. So, English is one of them. So you really could just take all the words and run them against English. that all the words run them against Spanish, or all the words run against German. You know what I'm saying? You could do that and then pretty easily mark them off. So you could do it. So, all right. Any other questions? This is the perfect time to ask. So, 5 of the words are up there now. You can start on those right away. Once I get the other ones up there, I will notify you. I'm planning on 8. I would like to get 10, but I'm trying to use different types. That way it's a little different for you, but I don't know if it doesn't. I'd like to give you 10, that way they're 10 points each. Because at 8 words, you miss 1, you're already into the B range. You know what I mean? So I could just do 2. Get 1 wrong, you get 50.
Yeah.
So you already got 5 to work on, but I will get some more of them for you. And it might be broken now. Maybe as soon as we came in here, because it's still working on it. So
like you can have it running multiple different words.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you can actually, this is what I would probably do. I'd take the word, throw it in there with English, another word with English, another word with English, get them all in there with English, and one of them's going to break. Then as soon as the one breaks, just stop the rest of them. Don't let the rest of them go, because I only use English on 1, and so on and so forth. So once one of them breaks, you know that one's done, then you're done with English. And stop all the rest of them. All you do is you right-click, do not click the X. That deletes all of them. Not that I've done that multiple times. Right-click and do delete the individual, or stop. If it's running, do pause, resume, whatever. Okay. But if it broke the one in English and the rest are all ready to run for English, just delete them. And then try them in a different language. That's probably the easiest way to do it. And you can actually add the same one in there multiple times. You can actually add file 1 with English, then file 1 with German, and file 1 with Spanish, and file 1 with this, and file 1. It's whatever way you want to do it. But I'd get a whole bunch of them going, just let the darn thing run for a day or 2 or 3. Now, PRTK is installed on your virtual vSphere machine. Remember, it's going down Thursday. It means we're turning off all the machines, which means I'm not going to turn yours back on. So if you start it there, when we turn them off, then you need to go in there Friday or something and find yours and turn it back on. Okay? And once it breaks one, if you close the program out, here, let me show you what happens. That's really pretty good. So I stopped it. Okay, I deleted that one. Now I'm going to go in here again. I'm going to bring the program back up, which is access data, PRTK, connecting to supervisor.
Easily.
Come on. Oh, yeah, good, it worked. Sure, I was getting worried there. Okay, you'll see it remembers it. So even though I closed the program out totally, it still remembers. And if I closed it out when it was in the middle of it, it'll just be paused. So you just click resume. So you could be running it on vSphere, and then even when we turn it off, it's just going to stop where it's at, and it'll pick up where it left off.
So how long is it going to be on?
I know.
How long is vSphere?
We're hoping we take it down Thursday at 2 and it's up Thursday night. That's the plan. But if you know anything about IT movement, I'm hoping by Friday. That's kind of what I'm thinking. All right? Be awesome if it's up Thursday. That would be, but nothing ever works out that way.
Or something for next week, or some of the class change.
Oh, okay. Yeah, next, basically we're done. We're not doing any more projects. If we were to meet, we'd be meeting in a different building. But what I'll do is I'll make you a small recording of what the final exam is going to be like, and I'll tell you when to take it, and I'll post that up there. That way you all know. Okay. I am going to work on a reverse engineering project, but we don't have it to the point where I got too much other crap going on right now to mess with it. Just one thing after another. Tomorrow, I got a new Homeland Security degree, so I got to spend half the day at that tomorrow, so yay. All right. So you guys are free to go. Let me stop this.